First of all, let us say thank to Allah who has been giving us some mercy, guidance, happiness, and healthy, so we can attend and participate in this event without any obstacles until now. Praise and salutation be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last messenger, the best figure of this universe, and the person who was able to save us from the Jahiliyyah era to Islamic era. In this lovely moment, I would like to say welcome to Ms. Salma Agung, the head of UIN Jakarta Career Center, and the Honorable Ms. Titia van der Mas, who has joined us special for today, and also our beloved Sobat Karir UIN Jakarta. And secondly, I would like to welcome you all to UIN Jakarta Career Center, as known as Pusat Karir UIN Jakarta, and I'm pleased to host our newest event, Persami Season 3 Part 1, entitled Find Opportunities for Your Global Career During the Challenging Times. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be a moderator for this event. So let me introduce myself. I am Kiki Nur Aisyah, but you can simply call me Kiki. Now I am an intern in UIN Jakarta Career Center, and I'm also a 6th semester law undergraduate student in UIN Jakarta. And I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. I really appreciate you for taking time off your busy schedules to join us today. And I hope you will learn a lot today. And we have lined up for you to have fruitful and engaging discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that so many of you are having your first time in UIN Jakarta Career Center, so allow me to describe a little about our event, Persami Season 3 Part 1, which is absolutely going to be Part 2, Part 3, and many more. So, Persami, Perkariran Sabtu Minggu in Indonesia, is a career talks that is conducted on weekend once in a month. And here we will talk about roles and prospects of a future career in some particular fields. And by conducting this event, we have several goals, which are first, we hope we can provide references and descriptions for students who have not yet decided where their career will lead in the future, about what roles can be obtained in the world of work according to their desires and abilities. And second, we hope we can provide a place to be able to discuss with experts in their respective fields according to the field of invited speakers. And today, on Persami Season 3 Part 1, we will bring up a topic, Find Opportunities for Your Global Career During the Challenging Times, which will discuss the opportunity to have and create a global scale path in a time full of competition and also faced with a pandemic era as it is now. Wow, how is it, guys? So cool, isn't it? So I believe you guys are so excited to discuss with our guest. But before that, on this special day, we have several agendas. So allow me to read several sequences of our agenda. The first is opening remark by the head of UIN Jakarta Career Center. And the second is the main event, which is discussion and sharing with our beloved guest. The third is question and answer by the audiences. The fourth is photo session. And the fifth is closing. So to begin this program, we are pleased to have Ms. Salma Agung as head of UIN Jakarta Career Center to deliver the opening remarks. To Ms. Salma Agung, time is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Kiki. Titia. How are you, Titia? We are very happy to have you here in our event, and also thank you very much for my students who are coming to this event. I believe that those who come to this event are having a brighter future because I believe they have the objective to be able to be successful in their career, and thus they are hungry to gain knowledge, find opportunities in global career with experts that we bring in this session. So I'm as the head of the career center today to have you, Titia, especially as our speaker, keynote speaker, and also our students. Titia and me, Titia is my very best friend during my study in the Netherlands. She helped me a lot with many things in my study so that I can finish the study very well. under her supervision. So yeah, it's grateful to meet Titya again here in this event, and I'm very happy to be able to invite you here. I wish that I could really invite you to Indonesia, and we can we can meet face by face. We can have a tour, 3 cups of coffee together, and with our students we can have a talk and more in-depth conversation, and to gain the best experience that Titi have in order to be able for us to learn, and also later on can be applied or can be implemented in our future career. We do hope really that from this event our students can get the best benefits, and of course, as the objective of Career Center, we facilitate our students to be able to successfully bridge, between the academic life and the work life, in which we know that there are two different words, both academic and work. So it is our duty to be able to facilitate our students to be successful in their career. So once again, thank you very much, Titya, and thank you very much for our students who come to this event. Enjoy the event, and we do hope that you can get the best benefit of this event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Alama, for that wonderful remarks. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, step on the following agenda. Let's get to the talk show with Titya van der Maas, who has joined us for today. But before I start our conversation with Titya, let me introduce her by sharing to all of you a little about her. As you can see on the screen, Titya is a governmental policy advisor and project manager at Leiden University from 20 Africa, the US, and Europe. Wow. And this innovative program was developed within the context of 14 projects involving international was the starting point. And Titia's role as project leader was to translate the plan into concrete project in collaboration with the expert advisors and 14 internationally based research teams and board. And since our guest is from Netherlands, allow me to guide this talk show full in English. So after we found out a little about Titya, how if we greet her who has joined us today? So without any further ado, please welcome Titya van der Maas. Hello, Titya.
Hello, Kiki. Hello, Salama. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm sorry, Kiki. Part of your introduction got lost because the connection was not so good. So I hope from now on, can you hear me?
Well? Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I feel a little bit shy about it because I never spoke to so many students online. So I hope the experience I can share with you will help you in your further career and in your development. And please let me know what questions you have and if I can be of any help.
Okay, thank you so much. And it's such an honor to have you here with us, actually. And actually, this is my first time moderating an event in English. So pardon me if I'm not fluently talking in English. I hope our discussion will go well.
You're doing a great job, Kiki.
Thank you. Okay, I will go straight to our discussion talking about finding global career opportunities. Many of my friends thought that it is a big privilege and such very hard opportunities to achieve. Although there are so many multinational companies or subsidiary companies in Indonesia who might be able to help us to learn more about the company culture so we can prepare to work globally. Because I think it is everyone's dream to work globally across the country and maybe bringing our country names. And so I have some related questions about that. But before we went there, I wanted to ask you, how do we define the global career term?
Yes, well, let me start with a general remark. When I finished my studies, I studied international affairs and I specialized in Asian studies. And when I finished my study program, my master's in university, I thought, well, now the whole world is waiting for me because I have my diploma and now I've made it. And then it was very difficult for me to find a job because the economic situation in the Netherlands was not so good. And I got a reality check in that sense that I couldn't find a paid job at first. So it was quite a difficult situation for me in the start. So in that sense, it was quite a challenge to find a good job. So that I would be happy to share that with you. I'm sorry, Kiki, what your first question was about the definition, right? I checked online because I had to think about the question also. And I think the way it's defined in most ways is that global career is defined by a job, including international work over a longer time, or having a series of international jobs. So I think my job in Leiden University for the 7 years I was there, it was very international because I work with a lot of international universities and with a lot of students, a lot of grad students, PhD students, and a lot of professors. So that was a real international network and I could travel a lot. But for my current job, it's very locally based. It's for the city government of Woerden. So, and it's fun in its own, but it misses the international components.
Okay, so after we define the global career term, I want to get to the next question. What are the top 3 things that we should prepare to build a global career path?
Yes, well, I had to think about it too. Of course, you have chosen your study program because you are interested in one kind of topic. And I think it's important to make a plan if you want to, if you see yourself working in one kind of sector, or if you see yourself working at an international company, make a plan for yourself. How do you think you end up there? So maybe you can take some courses or a training that specializes you in, I don't know what kind of field of expertise you need. If you need a project management course, or if you need to learn your English, you need to get your English proficiency, or there are very many opportunities to develop yourself beside your university or your academic skills, and they can help you. So take it up as part of your plan. And another important part is to make connections with people, because other people can help you forward. So your professor might give you a good advice or write you a good letter, a letter of recommendation, or maybe there is someone you met in one of your training courses that can help you giving your feedback about your English development, or about other skills that you need for the job. So see that you meet people personally, and that you tell them about your plan, and that you ask them for help to execute your plan. And the third thing I would advise you is to be open to challenging situations, because if you want to reach something that is not that is not in your that's not easy to go there. So at some point it might be difficult, or you might think maybe my plan is not achievable, or then go and have a conversation with the people that might help you, or with your friends or family, and they might support you and say the things you need to get your courage and to go ahead with your plan.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I got the point, is make connection to people and open to challenging situation and many more. So, and talking about work in a global scale, I believe that every country have a different work culture. So in the term of skills, what skills do you think we absolutely must have in a work in a global scale job?
Yeah, of course you need your motivation, but if you have a plan and you then that shows that you have your motivation. I think that the basic skill or thing that you need is just to be curious, that you want to explore something that is new to you, and that you be open to a new situation, and that's if you notice that sometimes it gets difficult, that you are able to adapt. So you are able to adapt your own way of talking to people, or to be open and sensitive about what other people need in their communication or in their way of working. So I think to be curious and to adapt yourself, it will help to grow in your ambition and in your work. Also, I think it's important to ask feedback, because you might have a sense of what you are able to yourself and how you develop yourself, but it's good if you check in your environment with the people that you work with, or your friends, or other people that you know, to check with them and to ask feedback, and how they think, what are your excellent points, and what are your points that you can have some personal or professional growth in. So
Okay, thank you very much. I do agree with that. Basic skills is to be curious, to explore, because me and many of my friends, they are so curious about learning to something new, especially that they can to develop their skills. Okay, get to the next question. What are the fields of global career opportunities that we can fill? Maybe could you give us any references or descriptions about the role that we can have in a global scale job?
Well, that's a broad question. I don't know. I don't know about the international labor market, but in Western Europe right now, in the Netherlands, there is a lot of shortage of people, and especially in well-trained people in the field of expertise of information technology, in technical engineering, but also in hospitality and in management. There is a lot of people wanted, and employees are so desperate to find good young people that they are willing to pay good grades, and also to offer you I don't know, extra things to lure you to get you to work for them. But that's for Dutch employers. I don't know about the global market myself. But for Western European countries, the economy is now at its top. So you see there are a lot of people needed on the labor market. So that will make it easier for you to find a job there.
Okay, so economic is one of the most roles in a global scale job, yeah, especially in Western and Europe. So you told us that economic is one of the most skills or role that mostly in Europe and Western. Then how we could find the best field of global career that fit in our desire and passion?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what backgrounds you guys have, but I hear that you are from various training backgrounds. So you are in the field of IT, but also social sciences and also other sciences. And I guess you have dreams about what would be your most fun job, or when you grow up, where you want to be. Well, make that part of your plan, and just look for employers that fit your dream job, or maybe if you think of an intermediate job that you need to get at your dream job, see what kind of employers there are available in that field. And online you can get so much information. There are so many expat websites. There's so many websites that are translated in English also. So there's so much information to find online. Yeah, I don't know. Does it answer your question, Kiki?
Yeah, I do agree that we live in an era that we can access everything easily through online, through computer.
Yes.
So I think it's easier a lot for us to looking for a job that fit our desire and passion. I do agree with that. So
yeah. And I think also, Kiki, to make a difference is if you can profile yourself personally. So if instead of an email, writing an email, you can call the recruiter or the manager that is having the vacancy at his work. And other ways is to maybe send a video about yourself, to explain about what is your drive and your motivation for this job. And maybe you can say, I don't have so much experience yet, but I would like to learn on the job. I think if the economy is as good as it is now in Western Europe, in the Netherlands, for instance, then they also take a lot of young and inexperienced people because they need so much people that they don't mind also taking the youngsters and to educate them on the job. So that gives you a window of opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. I see that your profile, you have so many experiences, especially in working in a global scale job and project management. So maybe can you share with us how you plan your career and execute a global scale project? And maybe could you please tell us about the workflow and how did you get the funding for a global project?
Yes. Well, I told you in the start that for me it was difficult to find a job. When I finished my master's program, I thought, now the whole world, every employer wants to give me a job. Well, welcome to the real world. When you finish your studies, you have to start from zero again. So you have to earn all your stripes as you go. So actually, I took a job, an unpaid job, a kind of internship after I finished my studies, because it's the only working experience I could get in my field of expertise in the international affairs world. I worked there for half a year. And I had to take a second job to make ends meet financially. So it was not an easy time, but I could learn on the job how to organize expert meetings. I could learn a little bit about project management. I could take a training course there about project management. And another thing is that I meet a lot of people that had a longer career and they advised me on things. So that really helped me. And later on, there was a vacancy at Leiden University. And during my bachelor program, I had a traineeship at Leiden University at the Training Indonesian Young Leaders program. That's where I met Dr. Salama Agung. And then they asked me, because I had my traineeship there, to work at Leiden University. But they only have 16-hour-a-week contract. So that's not enough to make a living. So I still need my second paid job. And but through the years, as I developed my skills and I got more project funding, I could extend the hours and make it to a full-time job. But I think it took me until 4 years until I could fully live from one job.
Wow, it's such an amazing experiences. I hope someday one of us in this room could be as amazing as you. So, related to your experience, what are the obstacles and benefits for having a global career scale?
Well, I think it's fun that you meet a lot of people from all over the world. Like me meeting Dr. Salama Agung, and she told me about her family, about her life in Indonesia, and I told her about my background, and it's a lot of fun to make friendships with new people from places that maybe you never visited yourself, and it can be very inspiring. So that's the fun part, but sometimes it can also be difficult. I think if you work in a foreign country that you don't know yourself, it can also be quite a challenge, that if you don't know so many people, you don't know the culture, and then it's important that you find some people in your network that you can connect with, and people that you can share with what you find difficult, but also that they can help you and support you to be strong and to look at the fun parts of your work.
Wow. Okay. So after so many difficulties you have experienced, how did you overcome these obstacles? Because I do believe that it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I think for me, the key in life, it's professional life, but also personal life, is to connect with people. So if you find people that you can connect with on intellectual level or emotional level, you can share with them your experience and discuss what you find difficult, and they always have an advice for you, or just make you laugh and forget the difficult things, or they can give you advice. So yeah, that's the thing that helped me through the difficult moments.
Wow. Okay. After we talk about the obstacles, I wonder how difficult it is to work with a lot of partners with different backgrounds. So could you tell us about how to adapt in a working environment with a lot of partners that have different backgrounds and cultures?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think it's the thing that your skills, that your curiosity, that helps you in this work. But also, it's the people, the connection to the people, and then the work that helps you. And the other thing is what I mentioned before also. If you ask people for feedback, also maybe if you meet some difficulties in your work, or maybe you have a colleague that you find very difficult to work with in your communication. Everyone has someone in his work. It doesn't have to be someone from a cultural background, but you always have one person that you are very allergic to. Sometimes it helps to just have an open discussion about that. You can say, hey, I'm struggling with the way this project is going. Can we have a coffee together and just see? And if you can be open to feedback from someone else, and you can be vulnerable about it, sometimes it helps to solve the problem, or to see the perspective of someone else, and to see where you can work together in a better way.
Wow, I think there is a lot of things we need to learn about work globally, because I do expect that work globally is not that easy, but it's nice feelings that and satisfying if we have become successful to work abroad, and maybe we can make our country proud being Indonesian name globally. But we are still young, I believe that there is still a lot of opportunities for us to keep learning and gaining more experiences to work globally, just like what Titia said. And although the data from Indonesia Central Statistic, I want to share a little about the data from Indonesia Central Statistic about the labor force in Indonesia is very high, very high. So we actually live in an era full of intense competition. And this is gonna be my last question and one of the most important questions after all, talking about an era full of intense competition. What can you suggest to students or fresh graduates who would like to build their future global career?
Yeah, I think many of the points I already discussed before, that you make a connection to people on a personal level, and that you present yourself. The best thing is to meet someone live, you know, then you can present your work and your personality, and then you can show what is your character, so then you can differentiate from others. But if it's not possible because your job is on the other side of the world, or then you can call someone or make a video and to surprise someone with the thing that you have to show about yourself, about your personality, about your expertise, and just show people what you have. And I think if you have your plan and you stick to it, and you can show people your character, and you can be authentic about yourself, then I think through the years you will see that your plan will come true.
Okay, so we have to be patient, yeah, to wait and see that the plan we have planned is going to be real.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you can be ambitious about your plan, and you can work hard about it. But in my experience, it took about 4 years to get my dream job. So
Oh, 4 years long. Wow. It must have more hard work and patience through 4 years. Wow. Wow. So thank you very much, Titia. The discussion was very fruitful and the explanation was excellently comprehensive. What an important lesson for us. And it seems kind of rare actually to have a great discussion like that, especially we got that directly from a professional like you, Titia. So after hearing the discussion we just have with our speaker, now I am very sure that our audiences also have a lot of these questions or probably some concern about global career. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to let the audiences to ask directly to Titia. So for everyone, just raise your hand or write down your question in chat box. So I will read it out for you, or maybe if there is any of you who would like to raise your hand and talk directly to Titia. Okay, there is a question in a chat box from Anissa Dafa. Maybe I will read it out for everyone. Is there any additional stage of the recruitment process if we are applicants from abroad? Okay. So
yeah, I think it will differ a lot per sector, because for instance, if you are in IT, if you're an IT web developer, I don't know, I'm just suggesting one thing. I think the recruitment officer, they will know the specific, recognize the specifics on your resume. And I don't know if they need to take a special test from you, or I mean, that will differ a lot per job. And it's not just internationally. I think if I apply for a job here in the Netherlands, it's the same too, that depending on the kind of job, if you want high management level, then the test will be more difficult than if you are in a junior vacancy. So yeah, it's difficult to say in one answer.
okay, thank you, Titia. And also thank you to Anissa Deva for the question. Okay, we move to the next question. There is a question from Nadia. So Nadia, hello Titia, thank you so much for interesting explanation. Could you give any advice about how to make a lot connection with people, especially make a good connection globally? Do you have any detailed plan, step-by-step procedure about how we could build connection?
Yeah, I think the first step that you take in your plan is to find to define what kind of company or what kind of government or what kind of organization you would like to work for, and then look for vacancy. So vacancy text. So if you find a vacancy text, there are always a contact person mentioned, and it's good that you show a personal interest in this vacancy. So it's good that, you know, if this person is not too far away, that you make an appointment personally to ask your questions. And if it's not possible, that you call this person and that you prepare your questions that you have. And your questions can be about many things. You can show your interest in the job itself, but also in the team that you will be working in, and in the what will be the what is their what is their policy on managing their employees. Those kind of things can be interesting, and it shows that you are interested in more than just the job itself.
Okay, thank you very much. So Nadia, I hope the explanation is already comprehensive. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nadia, for the question. We will go to the next question from Azka Latif. Good morning, Titia. Is it wrong to be afraid of making mistake in self-development for our career in the global scale? Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Azka Latif, for the question. No, it is never wrong to be afraid. I think as a person, you are always afraid to do new things. I think that is the essence of who we are. But to be afraid and to still do it, it means that you can be developing yourself. So if you do something that is out of your comfort zone, and you still make it to a good end, or you still have a conversation and you get some answers that you like from the recruiter, for instance, then it does help you, even if you decide you don't like the job, or then you have some information and you can decide for yourself if it is good for you or not. So no, being afraid is, everyone has it always. It doesn't matter how old you get. I'm still afraid. If I have a job interview, I'm still afraid to go there. So
Well, yeah, I do agree with Aska, because I think afraid is a feelings that everyone felt, especially me before moderating this event. I feel afraid. And
yeah.
before I want to do something policy, or I want to in a recruitment, I also be afraid. But even though I feel afraid, I still can to do it, and I feel so it feels satisfying that I can be success, even though before that I feel afraid.
Yeah.
So thank you, Aska. It's so related for all of us here.
I think so too. And Kiki, you are doing a great job, so don't worry.
Thank you so much. Okay, so for everyone in this room, for 42 participants, we still have a lot of time for Q&A session. So if every one of you wants to ask, you can simply raise your hand, or you can just chat us in a chat box. Okay, so there is another question from Safa. Hi Titia, it's a pleasure to hear all of your sharings. You've mentioned that you are experienced in the project management field, and I've been interested in those fields too. Wow. What are the differences running the project locally and globally? And is there any specific skills that only needed when it comes to organizing project in global? Wow, this is very good question. So please, Titia.
Thanks, Shafa, for your question. I think in project management, it's already a kind of international way of working, because oh, sorry, that's my dog. I hope you don't see it. Okay. Minnie. Yeah. Okay. In project management, you work, if you do a training in project management, for instance, then you will recognize that you work in a kind of way. That can also be used in an international setting. But there are always things that you have to adapt. For instance, the way that we are chatting now, that for me it's in the morning and for you it's in the afternoon. Those are things that you learn to to keep in mind. And also, for instance, if you guys are used to work in the weekends and I am only used to work during from Monday to Friday, for instance, in project management, especially if you have to write a report together, or if you are working in some kind of research development, those are things that you learn to keep in mind. But I think it's also important that you give yourself the time to learn things. You know, it's okay if you don't know everything at first hand. If you just started your first job, or your second job, or I think, yeah, learning your whole life is important, but that you also give yourself the chance to learn new things, and sometimes to be surprised by sometimes you try something in your project and it fails, and you haven't organized it in the right time, or you have asked the wrong question, or you forget to ask one question that's very important. But it's everything will help you to improve yourself the next time. So I think it's also a process, and that you have to learn on the job. You know, you cannot learn everything from your book. In the end, it's the working experience that really makes your work count.
Okay, wow. Okay, so there's another question from Safiatu. Good evening, Ms. Titia. Can you tell us some of the challenges that one is likely to face in their global career journey and how to tackle them? We will be excited to hear your own experience and how you were able to solve or face them. So please.
Hi, Safiatu. I'm thinking about what to tell you. Because there are so many challenges. I mean, you have your own process of learning and your own insecurities, as we just discussed. But you also have developments in your projects, or you have, for instance, the funder of your projects. He wants to see some kind of reporting on what you do, on your finances, on the academic findings, on those kind of things. So in that sense, project management is bringing together many components of one project. And as a manager, you have to oversee all of them. You don't have to execute all of them, but you have to oversee it and to make sure that all together everything goes more or less well. So I think project management is that you also have to deal with a lot of things, or that you manage a lot of things that are not going well, and the things that are going well, they manage themselves for some part. So I think you also need to be a good problem solver in that sense, and to be a good problem solver, yeah, I think it helps if you are curious and if you are able to ask other people for advice, for instance, your colleagues who are in your team, or your professor, or your director, or I don't know, someone else in your line of work that also knows a lot about project management, that you can just ask your question and to see if you can look at it from another point of view to help solve the problem. So I think that there will be a lot of problems or issues to overcome, but that you will learn in your project management work that it's just part of your daily job. So.
Okay, well, yeah. What a very complete answer, yeah. Okay, for everyone, you still have a chance to ask Titia directly through Zoom. You can just raise your hand, so you can just open your mic, or you also can to just write your question in the chat box. Oh, okay. There's another question from Adinda. Hi, Titia. I would like to ask a question, as most of us that we have in a global career, at least in your field. Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Opportunity. Well, I think my motto in life is that you create your own opportunity and that you can make a choice in that every day again. So maybe it's a bit naive, or maybe it's too ambitious. I don't know, but I would like to believe that if you have a plan for something and you really work hard for it, that you can achieve it. So yeah, I think even though you have always your insecurities about something, that if you want to go for it, then just do it. And how much opportunity? Yeah, it depends on the plan that you make. If you look for an opportunity that is close to your field of expertise, that will help. And if you do active training courses to better your skills in language or in project management, for instance, that will also help. And if you know people that have working experience in this field, they can also be your coach or your buddy, or if you have things on the job that aren't working. In my current team, also for the city where I work, if we have new people on the team who are young and inexperienced, we give them a buddy within the organization. So you can ask for someone in your team. I have 2 buddies at the moment, and we each week we meet for 1 hour, and all the questions they have, I see if there are people that can help them with it, or I can see if I can help them myself to answer the questions and to advise them on how to proceed on those matters. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And Adinda, thank you also. Thank you very much for asking this such an important question. So for ladies and gentlemen in this room, you still have a chance to ask Titia directly. Okay. Oh yeah, hi Rudin, you had raised your hand, so please just open your mic.
Thank you for Titia. I have a little question. This is still confused in my mind. Is it hard in international career for women with use hijab? I think a lot of countries in the world really hate about the people who use hijab. How about your suggestion? Maybe you have some suggestion for us how we can compete in international career even less for women use hijab.
Okay, yeah, I understand your question. Yeah, I find it difficult to answer your question because I don't have the personal experience. Yeah, maybe that's a better question to ask Dr. Salama Abu. She's but I think I think Carolyn, that it differs a lot what kind of setting you are. You have companies in the Netherlands, they work with 150 different nationalities, and the way you look, your background, there's so much diversity, there won't be any questions or curiosity in how you look. And also in university, for instance, in Leiden, there is a huge department on Islamic studies, for instance. There is a lot of knowledge about different cultural backgrounds. So I think people working there, they tend to have more sensitivity or more understanding of this diversity in people. And I think that maybe there's also more acceptance. And in the Netherlands where I live, there's also some Dutch women wearing the hijab, or some Dutch Moroccan women. So and they can also execute their work in public work, for instance. They work in the library, or yeah, they also have, or as a policymaker, or there are not so many of them, so you won't have so much examples to lead. That's a shame, actually. And I believe maybe for them it's also difficult to be different in the way they look. So yeah, it will make a difference in that sense. But I find it difficult to know what kind of difference it makes when you have a job application. I don't know about that. It will depend on the kind of company or the organization that you want to work for, and if they are accepting people being different than mainstream, or I don't know how. Yeah.
Okay, Titya, thank you for the answer. I think this question is more about culture differentiation, especially in work globally as a Muslim.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for Hairudin for the question. I hope it can satisfy you. And for every one of you in this room, you still had a chance to to ask Titya directly. So please just raise your hand or just write down the question in the chat box. Or maybe I have one question about project management. I do curious about how did you find your passion and your desires in project management field, because between all work field in this world, how do you choose that, oh, this is what I like, oh, I like this project management thing? So
yeah.
Can you please share us your experience and your step that you can find your passion? Thank you.
Yeah, Kiki, thanks for your question. Actually, my first choice was my field of study. So my field of expertise, international affairs and Asian studies, that was my first love, so to speak. And then in order to work in that field of expertise, I needed a way to organize my work, and a way to organize my work is project management. So it's more of a functional way to look at your work. Instead of that, it's project management in itself is a kind of means. It is not my passion itself. It's a way that you can work. Like today, you have a lot of, especially in IT, but now also in other companies, they work lean, for instance, and they have all this kind of different methods of working lean and organizing innovation process in the work. It's also a means. It's not. In itself, the working process is not my love, but the content of my work is the thing that I am passionate about.
Okay, thank you so much for the answers. It's already 6 questions, so every one of you, if you still want to ask, we still give you 2 minutes to ask Titya directly. You just can raise your hand or write it on the chat box. Okay, Anissa Filia, please just open your mic. Thank you.
Hello, Titya. Thank you so much for your explaining such an comprehensive explanation about the global career opportunities. Maybe a lot of people here have asked about your experiences in project management field, but I have one question about your current job, which is the governmental advisor in Warden Municipality. I would like to ask a questions that, is there any opportunities for us as a foreign people to work at the governmental sections in a country, in other country?
Yeah, I try to find some information about that online. I think the more specialized your job is, so if you are very specialized in a kind of IT problem-solving area that is internationally very wanted, I think, for instance, those kind of jobs, I can imagine that they would like to hire you. But I know that for some jobs where you have to deal with public affairs, for instance, my current job, I'm advisor on economic affairs, then I have a lot of discussion with entrepreneurs in my city, for instance, and with policymakers and the mayor in my city. And then it's important that you have a level that you speak the mother tongue. So, but for instance, in IT, you have a lot of languages that that they are used to use, like English, for instance. That is also commonly accepted to work with. So I think it differs a lot per job and per sector, if it is possible for you. But there are a lot of websites, expat websites, for instance, where you can check what kind of companies are used to attract people from all over the world. And you can see it in the way they communicate, in what language they communicate, and if they want to offer you, for instance, a moving fee, or if you can work from home, if distance working is not a problem. I think ever since the COVID crisis, many companies have accepted working from home. Yeah, and they want to facilitate that. So I think you can see in the way they show their vacancies, and they want to attract people, how they work, how they operate.
Okay, thank you so much, Didia. So what I get from your explanation is we need to do some deep research before we start to apply for a particular job, especially in global scale job. Thank you so much, Didia.
I think that will help you, Anissa.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Anissa, for your question, and Titia for the answer. So we are already answered 10 questions from audiences. Then it turned out that our audiences looks very excited about having a global career and in program management. And however, I'm really sorry because the limitation of time we have, so we have to end this Q&A session. Well, okay, then we are going to move to the next session, which is photo session, and it seems like we have to document this precious moment. So please to Sobat Karir to open your camera so we can see your beautiful and handsome faces here, and then we can to take a picture. And I will lead our photo session. Wait.
Salam, I heard in the IKEA.
Yeah.
Is it your new living room?
Yes, my study room.
Looks very neat.
Thank you.
Okay, I will start. I will count until 3, and you can just smile. There are two slides. Yeah. Okay. For the first slide, please open your camera. Okay. I will capture in 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Wait a minute. And for slide 2, please open your camera. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah. Let me just save it first. Okay, all done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Before we close this event, it seems that it would be more interesting if we could hear the closing statement from our speaker today. So, Titia, if you don't mind, please deliver the closing statement for us. Time is yours.
Well, thank you all very much. And I hope my talk could be of any help for you, because every one of you, I hope you have a good working life and a fulfilling working life, and that you can find a fun job, but also a place to learn things, and just believe in yourself.
Wow, believe in yourself. Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Titia, for your very good closing statement. So, ladies and gentlemen, the last agenda is closing, and it is so sad because this is the time we have to say goodbye. And finally, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to apologize for my mistake while presenting this event. Thank you so much for Titia, who just gave us very precious lesson about global career. Hope we can meet you again in another time, or maybe you can just visit Indonesia and win Jakarta, or maybe we will visit Netherlands together and meet you there. And thank you so much to all the audiences, 40 audiences that has attended our event for today, and thank you for your attention. And please, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow our Instagram at Karir UIN Jakarta for more feature and interesting content about career development events and career opportunities information. And please do not forget to fill the feedback link on the chat box. We have already sent you the link. Please don't forget to fill it. And I am Kiki Nur Aisyah from Pusat Karir UIN Jakarta. Once again, would like to thank you very much for your attention. So for the last, goodbye and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Titia.
Thank you, students. Thank you, Salama. Bye.
Thank you, Kiki and team. Bye, Titia.
Bye.
Thank you, Azka. Makasih, Azka. Izin live ya, Safa, Nisa, Kiki.
Ya, Ibu, makasih banyak.
Ya, Ibu, makasih banyak.
Terima kasih.